This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we'll be repairing a GE side-by-side refrigerator with the freezer on the bottom and it's leaking water on the floor and also creating a big ice block in the freezer. So it's pretty easy to fix once you figure out where the problem is. To do this, we're going to have to take out the freezer door and some of these bins. So first thing is to get this big plastic bin in the front out. We're going to open up the door as far as it'll go, and there's a little, on this model, there's this little thing that hinges back and forth, a little drawer. We're just going to lift that straight up to get that out of there, and that's going to help us to get the bigger bin out of there. When we get the bin out of there, we'll be able to remove some little bolts that are holding on the door to give us more room to work. Usually what causes the leaking problem is the defrost system causes some of the water in the evaporator, or ice on the evaporator, to melt, and that water has to go down a little drain hole. So we just pulled out that shelf, and now we can access the bolts that are holding on the door. So there's going to be 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top. So we're just going to zip those out. Get the door off. And now we can get that plastic bin out of there. Just lift that right out. And then we're going to remove 2 1/4-inch screws on the back panel that's covering the evaporator. So they're up here at the top. You can see all the water and ice that this problem has created. It's pretty common for refrigerators at some point. The water can no longer go down the drain hole because something's blocking the drain hole. So we're going to pull now this connector at the top, and now we can get the back panel just out of there, which will expose the evaporator. And underneath the evaporator we can see this trough with a hole in it, and there's a bunch of ice and water caught in there. So I'm going to use just my fingers. You might need to use like a paint scraper or a screwdriver to break up the ice, and you can get the ice out of there. I'd asked the customer to leave the machine unplugged and the door open for about 6 hours so that it made it a bit easier to do this procedure. If you don't do that, it's okay. You just have to work harder to remove all the ice first. I'm going to use a turkey baster to reach in there into that hole and get all that water out of there. Usually what causes that hole there to be blocked is just ice that's built up. Sometimes some dirt can get in there too and cause an obstruction. That's less common. So the first thing to try is to assume that it's just a block of ice that's in the way, and to use turkey baster with boiling hot water to get rid of the ice. So I take the boiling hot water and I put it in the hole there, and I'm going to just pump that water back and forth a few times to get the boiling water into the ice and to slowly melt it. Once I've done that for maybe 10 times, I'll take that water that I just put in there and I'll pull it out with the turkey baster, put it in another container, because that water is no longer hot. It's no longer melting the ice. So this is just thermodynamics. We're just introducing heat into that hole, and it's gradually melting the ice plug. So I'm getting all that lukewarm or cold water out, and I'm going to put more boiling water in. You can also use something like this. This is like the end of a coat hanger to push in there to see if you can help break it free. This is I removed the back panel, and I then took off the 2 tube that brings that water down into the pan below. And I noticed that this rubber piece that the tube goes into has a obstruction here, and it looks like there's a bunch of stuff caught in it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut away some of this rubber so that I've made a larger opening, and that makes it easier for the water to drain out. You can see all the junk that got caught in there. I'm not sure where that came from, but that was definitely what was blocking it. Usually it's ice, but in this case it was just all that junk. I'm going to put that tube back on after I cleaned it, and then I'll put that rubber grommet and tube back onto the area right where we were working before with the turkey baster. This is again in the back of the refrigerator. I'm sorry, this picture is upside down, but this is going to go back in, and then the tube goes down into a plastic pan, and the defrost water travels through there. And now it's going to drain properly and no more leak. Hopefully this will help you too. Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button, and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.